Hey guys, what's going on? It's BurtGround88 coming at you, giving you a video on NHL 24. What we're going to be doing over the next 9-10 days before NHL drops is, yes, I've got 3 more sets of pack videos to do where I got my squad battles, champs, and rivals rewards. That's it, right? This week coming up, these next three days of reward, that's all we're going to get because I'm not going to play and get rewards that are 23 into 24, so this will be the last set because the next set after that doesn't come out till 24 and it just wouldn't make sense. But what I'm also going to do is start with today's video is I'm going to do positions. Each individual positions, what players to chase right out of the gate, which ones are good, why I like them, why I think they're the ones to chase, and then things we could talk about how NHL 24 gameplay could affect each one of these players. Today, guys, we're going to start out with goalies because goalies are, I wouldn't say the most controversial, but a lot of people think the position doesn't matter. A lot of people think goalies are bad no matter what. And then there's some people that think their individual attributes like height is the only thing that matters with a goalie. So goalies have changed this year a little bit. Height is obviously still going to be a big factor for me, but we're also going to have to see how the endurance of a goalie plays into it. Are we going to need those higher rated goalies to stop that pressure drop off so quickly? Because when the opponent gets the pressure, your goalie's endurance drops, and we're gonna have to keep an eye on that and see what goalies at a higher overall with their endurance, because goalies in 23 don't have an endurance stat. Is it going to be what agility? How are they going to do it? We're gonna have to wait and see on that. But let's get into some goalies, guys. See which 5-6 goalies we think should be good chasers in NHL 24 based on a couple of things that we like from the past NHL games. And as always, if you do like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to the comment section down below with the goalie you're going to be chasing. But let's start with John GILLIES. And he is on Arizona, 77 overall at this time. We've seen a lot of players take a step down, so we'll have to wait and see. But he's 6'6", 223 pounds, and that is a good starting base for a goalie. He is not the top goalie I would chase right out of the gate, as we're going to get into the others, but he will be one of the cheapest to chase because, you know, not a huge name. He's got that size, not a huge overall. It's not like your Ben Bishop, right? Where everybody knows Ben Bishop's a hut god. This guy might slip under the radar so you can find one for cheap. And he might be a good starting point until you can get your goalie under control. But yeah, this is a good goalie that I just wanted to point out with the height, the size, everything. We're just going to have to wait and see how goalies pan out in 24. But he'd be a good starter point to go after a goalie to do yourself until you can get your forwards and your defense where they're at, then you improve your goalie. And then talking about another 6'6" goalie, Anthony STOLARZ. He's a little higher overall. This is where that endurance, if they add an endurance stat, this is where that endurance might come into play, where you're like, I'm going to go get Anthony over John because he's a little better. His endurance might be a little higher, and that might help him out with the possession game. We're going to have to wait and see how that all pans out, guys. Like, we don't know how it's going to pan out. Without an endurance stat, we can't really guess or say like this goalie is going to be better than the other until we see it in front of our face. But he's another one, unlike Ben Bishop, he will be cheaper because he's still an 80 overall, but he's 6'6", carrying a good height to where you could go get him, and those could be your 2 goalies, and you could flip back and forth based on who's performing better and really see. But those 2 goalies would do you for the month of October until you can get your offense and defense flowing. Now, we've mentioned him, so we might as well show him. Ben Bishop is one of the most chased goalies at the start of the year, 6'7". He's one of the tallest, 210 pounds, and he performs amazing. So again, we're going to bring that point up over and over again with the pressure meter. We do not know how lower goalies overall are going to handle. That's something we're going to have to dive into right when we get into the game. But these 3 goalies are extremely low overall, with the exception of Ben Bishop because he carries the name and that 6'7". The other 2 will be cheap. Ben Bishop will be kind of pricey for his overall and compared to the other 2, but it just comes with the name, and with Hut, every name that's good you pay a premium on. So if you can find cards similar, you'll actually save coins, which is what I try to do, which is what everyone tries to do when we're chasing cards early on. A guy that'll always be a big chase in NHL is Jacob Markstrom, along with the other 3. Bishop's a little bit bigger, but Markstrom carries a higher overall, which balances it out. So you get 6'6" Markstrom at 202 pounds, so he can move well, and you feel it out there. Been a lot of people's goalies this year from October to now. It's a video I made last year saying that this goalie could carry you through the year, and I've had a lot of people say, hey, I've rocked Markstrom since October, and I haven't looked back, and it saved me a ton of coins I could put elsewhere because I wasn't chasing the newest goalie because I just keep working on Markstrom's X factor as the year went on. So it's great to see. I'm not going to get everything right, but it's great to see when I do say something like, hey, this goalie could be your goalie year round because of his height, and he'll slowly progress, and you progress with him. And people say, hey, like, this is awesome. I did it, and I didn't regret it. So I like it. Goalies have their ups and downs, but Markstrom is always going to be a great chase. This year, he took a huge step down. I think he's like 82 this year. So we'll have to wait and see how he plays. And again, we're waiting to see the endurance. Now, one goalie that I'm curious to see how he's handled in NHL 24 with what the developers do with him is Mads Søgaard. I want to see where they put him, his overall. They put him at 6'7", 199 pounds. This goalie is going to be a goalie chase like Ben Bishop. As the year goes on, he progresses with his overall. As you see here, we're showing the 93 overall. But I'm looking forward to his base card to see what this Søgaard card can do and how often you see him early on, because he will be a coin savings. But what's his overall? That'll be the difference maker on whether you chase Bishop, John Gillies, or Anthony STOLARZ, or Mads Søgaard. What's the overall and what's the cost? And a goalie that shot into NHL 23. People put him in the team in October, and I was playing teams that still had him on their roster. As goalies this year, the overalls, guys, it felt like it was a lot about height. You would have a goalie completely bail you out because they got the animation, not because they have the stat. So it was all about which animations were triggered that made the save or not, right? And Gage Alexander at 6'7" competes with Ben Bishop, and his price tag was a little lower than Ben Bishop this year because I don't think his name was as out there in the Hut community as Bishop's is. Obviously, Bishop got that big name that everyone goes for, and Alexander was kind of put to the wayside. So this year, as he became more known and known, his price tag went up and up and up. I think when the year starts in 24, you're going to see his price tag up a bit higher. But he might be a good chase if there's no Ben Bishops on the auction house to buy, or if you just want to try him and see what he's like on a cheaper price than Ben Bishop, because I feel like his overall will be a little less, and you'll be able to scoop him up if that's what you're looking for. But I would say this is where we're going to stop with the goalies. It's going to be the general consensus. We don't know what goalies are going to do until we get into the game. We see the pressure meter. We see if the endurance matters. If they add endurance, we're going to have to wait and see on something like that. But those are the goalies that I wanted to talk about, guys, because those are the ones that, you know, I would probably be hoping to get on my hardcore Hut team. And then Matt Murray is probably going to be the goalie that I play with on my Leafs team, but we're going to have to wait and see how it shakes out, right? I got to wait and see what EA gives us in packs and how we go from there. So over the next couple of days, like I said, I'm going to do positions. I'll probably do the 2 defensive positions next. Then I'll go to the forwards positions. Then I'll go to the center position. Because center is one of the most impactful, as getting the puck is huge in the offensive zone to start your pressure meter. So we're going to finish with the centers and then just have a blast from there. So I hope you guys did enjoy the goalie video. I hope it helps you out, and I hope you're looking forward to NHL 24, diving into some of these goalies. And then I hope you like the position videos in the future. And then we got a couple of packs and then one big wrap up of getting rid of everyone on my team. Let's get ready. And I appreciate you guys all watching and hanging out. It really means a lot to me. Until next time, guys. Ciao, ciao.